Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is 401 Styling. If this is your first time, thanks for coming, and for the old subscriber, thanks for coming back. Today we are going to learn how to make a vest jacket, also known as a waistcoat. So if you are interested in learning how to make this, please watch this video to the end. Thank you, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. So let's get started. The first thing you are going to need to make this, you need your basic bodice block, just like I have here. Okay, this is the back pattern. I have my shoulder line, chest line, bust point, and the waistline. Okay, you are going to have your measurements from the shoulder down to the waist. Then you are going to plot your waist starts. Okay, so mind you, the back is going to be on fold. That is, you are not going to be cutting into two. You are not going to be having a zipper allowance like the regular bodice. Okay, so but you will not have your body circumference measurement yet. Okay, so now for the front pattern, or for the front bodice, this is what it's going to look like. You are going to have the same line just like you have for the back pattern, and after the waistline you are going to have enough allowance up to like 7 inches. So remember, this is going to be the front, so we are going to have 2. Okay, so we are going to cut 2 of this pattern when we are done. Then as for the waist, that we are going to plot that, after which we are done with our pattern. Now for the back, the first thing you want to do is to come to the shoulder and mark 3 inches from the neck width. Okay, so that is like the standard measurement for the shoulder of a waistcoat. So now you come to the armhole line and divide into 2 equal half. The midpoint, you're going to go in by 2 inches. From that point, you're going to go in by 2 inches. This depends on the style you want to have at the back, depending on how deep you want the curve to be. Okay, and if you want it to be moderate, you can leave it like that. Then we are going to connect it to the underarm, where we are going to create a new armhole. Okay, so to create the new armhole now, you need to, first thing you do is to take your body circumference measurements, your bust divided by 4 plus your seam allowance plus your ease allowance. This depends on what you want actually. If you do not want an ease, if you want it to be fitted, there is no need of adding ease. But if you want it to have to be free a little bit, then you can add your ease allowance. So I'm going to add 0.75 ease allowance, and I'm going to add 1 inch seam allowance. Okay, so go ahead and mark whatever value you want to use for your measurement. Okay, so after this, I'm going to do the same thing on the waistline. I'm going to mark the waist circumference divided by 4 plus my 1 inch that intake, and plus my seam allowance and my ease allowance. Okay, so just go ahead and do the same thing on your pattern. After connecting, you can simply indicate on your pattern paper if you have allowance, that is your seam allowance on the pattern already. So this is just there to guide you and to always remind you that you already have your seam allowance. Okay, it is optional. Okay, but I would like to add it. That is how I work, because I believe it always reminds me. So from the chest line now, you go down by 1.5 inches from the side seam line. Okay, you can mark it on your original seam line and connect with a curve. Then you extend to the seam allowance. So to do this now, you might need to make use of a pencil first to draw your lines. When you are doing this, you really need to be careful. If you are good with your free hand, you can do that, and if you are good with your curve ruler, you can simply make use of a curve ruler. Just go ahead and draw a straight you are going to connect the line. It's not going to be straight, actually it's going to be curved. Just extend to your seam allowance, just like you see me doing. Okay, so after you are sure of the line, then you can now use your marker to make it visible. So now we are going to be making use of this new line, and this whole line is going off. Okay, the next thing you want to do is to come to the waistline here and extend it by 1 inch. Okay, we are going to extend from the side seam down to the center back by 1 inch and connect with a straight line. Okay, so then after connecting with a straight line, you come to this other side and you extend your darts like so, just like you see me doing. Okay, so after which you are done with that, you come to the side seam. You are going to extend the side seam by 0.75 inch. Okay, so you come down from that 1 inch that we extended, and you are going to connect back to the dart leg, the first dart leg that is coming from the side back. Okay, you're going to extend it and you connect, then you're going to connect it like so. With this now, we are done with the front bodies, and the next thing we are going to do now is to add our seam allowance all round. So on the hemline, we are going to add 1 inch. By the side, we already have our seam allowance. The armhole area, we are going to add 0.5, and then to the neckline, we are going to add 0.5. So I'm just going to do that now, connect with my curve rules all round, then I'll cut it out. Okay guys, that'll be all for the back pattern. Please do not forget to click on the subscribe button, the bell beside it, so that you'll be notified anytime I drop a new video, and please give this video a thumbs up. So now for the front bodies, now the first thing we want to do here, just like we did for the back bodies, we are going to alter our neckline, create our new armhole line with the same measurements, the shoulder, the mid armhole, and our new armhole. So we are going to repeat the same process. Then after that, now we'll take our body circumference measurement, same way you did for the back, the same way you are going to do for the front. Your body measurement divided by 4 plus his plus 1 inch seam allowance. You might decide to have his, and you might decide to make it fitted. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and label my lines once again. Okay, so after which you are done with this, now you are going to come to this waistline. You mark your waist circumference divided by 4, your dart intake 1 inch, your his allowance, and your seam allowance, because we are still going to plot our waist dart, after which we have altered the front bodies. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do after this is to do our extension by the side seam. Remember that on the back bodies we extend by 1 inch and 0.75. So I'm just going to add it together, and I'm going to mark 1.75 from this waistline down. Okay, so after which you are done with this, then you are going to connect with a straight line. We are still going to come back to that. So on the center front line, you go down by 5 inches. Okay, 5 inches, just like you see me doing. You're going to mark 5 inches. So from this 5 inch now, I want to extend this my margin line. So from this 5 inch, you are going to divide into 2 equal half, that is 2.5 inches. You find the midpoint of the 5 inch and you mark it just like you see me doing. Okay, we are still going to come back to this one too. So here I have 1.75, it's just a reminder, and I have 2.5 in 2 different ways. So you come to this last line where we have a 5 inch, then you go in by 1.5 inch, or you go out by 1.5 inch. Then you're going to connect to the midpoint of that 5 inch that we have here. Okay, then you're going to connect back to this 1.75. So just watch what I'm going to do closely. Okay, so from the 1.5 upward to the 2.5 like this, then from this 1.5 back to the 1.75. So what we are trying to do here is to create that shape that we used to have at the front. So please pardon me, I forgot to add allowance at the center front, so I'll go ahead and add a piece of paper here now. So before your center front line, you can leave allowance of about 2 inches or more. Okay, so that is where you have to plot your placket. Now the next thing is to plot our new neckline. It's going to be a V neckline. This depends on style actually, and the depth depends on you as well. So you can stop on the chest line or the bust point line, or better still, just find what you have between your chest line and your bust point line. You can find the midpoint of whatever allowance you have, just like you see me doing. Mark the midpoint and you can stop your measurement there. So I'm just going to draw these lines, and so that you can be able to understand and choose on which one you want to make use of. And it also depends on the design that you are working on. Okay, so I'm going to wherever you are stopping the neckline, you're going to mark 1 inch out like this for your plackets. Okay, or your button overlap, whatever you call it. So you're going to mark it down. So from this 2.5 here, you go up by 0.5 inch, and then you mark your 1 inch again. Then you're going to connect with a straight line. Then you are going to have your buttons here as many as possible. So the number of buttons you're going to use depends on the diameter of the button you're using. Then after that, I'm going to reconnect this neckline to the placket. Okay, and it's just going to be like this. Okay, so after using my pencil, I'll use my marker to make it visible. So now this hold line, we are not going to use it. So you come to this waistline area, this 1.5 here, and you're going to reconnect back to the placket again, and you're going to rule out this odd line. Okay, so that'll be all for that. So the next thing we want to do now after connecting that is to bring out the seam allowance. It's just to remind me. Then you come to this hemline and measure whatever you have, divide into 2 equal half, and find the midpoint. So whatever you have, you measure it from the center front, and we are trying to create our dart line. Okay, so the line is going to be inverted, never mind. It's not going to be totally straight. So from the bust point, you go down by 0.75 or 1 inch. You mark 0.5 on both sides of the line at the hemline and connect to the bust point area. If it is for a man, if we are making for a gent rather, you are going to extend the dart to the chest line. Okay, so and if you want to have a welt pocket, is going to be somewhere around here, do we understand? So after which you are done with this, now we are going to add our allowance. We already have our seam allowance by the side. Always label your pattern so you don't forget, and every other part of the pattern we are going to add 0.5 seam allowance. This depends on how many allowance you make use of. So I'm done cutting, and this is what we are going to have. So for the front, I added 0.5 allowance to the neck, the shoulder, the front, 1 inch to the hemline, 1 inch by the side, and 0.5 to the armhole. So folding in your allowance is what you are going to have. Okay, so and then that will be all for the drafting of the pattern. You can just extend your dart. So for the front, you are going to be cutting 2, and the back is just going to be on fold. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video up to this moment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I drop the cutting and sewing of this pattern. Okay, and please like this video and please share this video so that we can reach as many people as possible. So thank you very much once again. Bye.